the big thing of competing is eating healthy and eating clean. So I was so sick and tired of eating just like plain chicken and vegetables and boring. So I started creating like healthy recipes and versions of everything fun, like macaroni and cheese or cookies, whatever, but made a healthier version. So and I started posting my recipes and people started sharing them and liking them and making them. So I was like, well, maybe I'll turn this into a little side hustle. So I did.
So, Heidi.
Yes, Francesca.
I'm so happy that you agreed to do this interview.
Why wouldn't I?
I don't know, because you're so busy and I didn't know if I could even get you to do this.
I would do it for you. Francesca, I've known for almost 10 years now, right?
I think it is about that. It's been a while.
She was my belly dance teacher.
I
learned the moves.
That's right.
On this one.
Okay, so because the viewers possibly don't know about you. Maybe they do because you are getting out there, but the people that are following this may not know you yet. They will after this, right? So, Heidi, can you just share a little bit about your background? Because you do so much. Can you just share just a little bit?
I'll go really fast on this one. Okay, so I started out, I was always a tomboy in high school. I was always a tomboy growing up in life. I was into martial arts, got my black belt. I went to Australia, competed in the World Games, got 2 gold medals. I was total tomboy. I went there and all of a sudden I decided I was going to be a girl and I started wearing clothes and felt pretty about myself. So I came home and felt on top of the world and got into dance and got into acting and stunts and everything about fitness models, fitness stuff, just everything.
So you are a belly dancer. You are an esthetician.
Medical esthetician,
esthetician. You do motocross.
Yeah, I race dirt bikes.
Yeah, and then you do fitness modeling.
Yeah.
And you competitions.
Yeah.
What am I missing? Oh, you have a cooking app where you do recipes with protein
powders and cooking healthy. There's a whole other backside of that. It's a long one if you want to go into that.
Yeah, tell us.
But I got into competing about 6 years ago now. And right when we had Johara and all that stuff.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
And then, so anyway, the big thing of competing is eating healthy and eating clean. So I was so sick and tired of eating just like plain chicken and vegetables and boring. So I started creating like healthy recipes and versions of everything fun, like macaroni and cheese or cookies, whatever, but made a healthier version. So and I started posting my recipes and people started sharing them and liking them and making them. So I was like, well, maybe I'll turn this into a little side hustle. So I did. I reached out to friends and now it's selling in 42 countries. It's an app that you subscribe to and
What's it called?
Mrs. Cannon's Kitchen. It was Mrs. Cannon's Baking, but I made it kitchen because now it's everything. So it's like lunch, dinner, breakfast, baking. So it's healthier versions of everything fun that people like to eat.
Cool. So is this, are the recipes with any type of protein powder? Or is it a specific brand?
Well, I am sponsored by Magnum Nutraceuticals. So that's the protein powder I use. And it is honestly like, not to be like I have to say it because I really don't, but I love it. It's the best. It's gluten-free, lactose-free. It's got 30 grams of protein per scoop. So it tastes good and it's just good. Tastes good.
That is awesome. You know what? I follow you. I follow you on Facebook and I follow you on Instagram.
For Francesca.
For me, yes. But no, it's actually, and you know, you post your videos and you're working out, you go to the gym or you do it at home. And I have to say, every time I see one of those clips, it inspires me. It makes me feel like a lazy butt and I work out every day. So
that's good. That's what I want to do for people.
Inspire me. And you're like the little energizer bunny that just doesn't stop. You're always doing something. So here's my question to you is, what gets you going in the morning? Like when you wake up, how early do you get up?
Everyone asks that. That's so funny. I typically, some days I get up at 5, other days I get up at 8. It just depends on the day.
So you don't have a steady, like you wake up every day at the same time?
No, I'm not, like I'm regimented and I'll get everything done. But if I'm really tired, I'm going to sleep in and I'm going to let myself sleep in and get that rest because it's so important versus like I need to be up at 5 every day. And I have things that I plan to do and I always write down my daily things that I want to do the day before so that I'm not overwhelming myself. That's a big one too, is everyone's like, how do you do it all? Well, I literally put down the things that I want to accomplish in the day. If they don't get done, then I just put them to the next day. Or if I get them all done, I don't add on more because I think that so many people try and do too much and then they burn themselves out. So don't burn yourself out.
No, I'm glad you say that because everyone is under the impression that to be disciplined and be able to do things, you have to be on a very strict, they tell you have to get up every day at the same time and, to keep that routine. But you're not doing that.
No.
And it's working well.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, some days I'm like, oh, I should have got up earlier because I could have done this. But in hindsight, I'm like, okay, well, I listen to my body a lot. And I think, okay, if I push it too much, then I know I'm just not going to be useful. So I very much go on, like if I had a heavy leg day and I am dancing all night, like I dance at restaurants, right? On weekends.
You perform as well.
Yeah.
That's another thing you do.
Yes. So that's the last thing I want to do is get up at, 5 in the morning on Sunday after dancing like 4 or 5 shows and you need your rest, right? So I'm a big believer in that.
So what motivates you once you've rested to get out of bed? What gets you going? What gets you going? I am so ready for today because that's how you come across in everything you do. Like it comes across like, well,
I just want it because I want the best out of every day. I kind of treat it like a lemon. I squeeze the crap out of it as much as I can do within reason in that day. Then, that's kind of what I want to achieve lots. I don't want to just. I'm not the kind of person, I don't watch TV very much. Like if I do, I watch sports. But like I'm always trying to better myself in some way or better people around me in some way too. I don't want to just, okay, it's 5 o'clock and I'm going to make dinner and I'm going to sit on the couch and I'm going to watch the TV till 9. Like my parents, I love you, Mom and Dad, if you're watching this. They do this and it's one thing that I've always rebelled against because I've seen that. And I'm like, I don't ever want to do that. I never want to be just mundane. I want to always try because there's so many things out there that you can do, and it's not just regimented.
So some people may say, well, you're gonna run yourself down and you're gonna burn out. Does it ever feel that way?
Again, the piling on, right? You don't pile on too much, right? I kind of have timelines, and some things I do. Sometimes I like burn myself out. Like I'm not going to say that I haven't done that before. I totally have. But I learned to be like, okay, don't take on too much. Or, I have like boards of like, okay, this is what I want to achieve in the year. And
so like vision boards?
Yeah. And like, I kind of have like timelines, but if they don't work out right away, it's not like, oh, the world's over. It's okay. Like there's always something. I always believe that when one door closes, another one opens. If one thing doesn't work for you, there's something else around the door.
Do you go looking for opportunities or do they just happen to
No, I work for those opportunities because nothing's going to come landing on your lap. I mean, some things do, but I don't believe that.
They only do because you hustle. Because you do put the work out there, right? So the more active you are, the more things are going to...
The more things are... my women's health cover, which I've wanted that forever. I've always wanted to be on the cover of that.
Is that out already?
Yeah, it came out in December.
Oh!
Yeah,
it was congratulations.
It was like a huge one for me. But that one took me about a year, and I submitted to them every month at least. I was like, hey, here's me. Here's what I do. Here are my photos. I didn't hear anything. Hey, same thing. Like I really believe in persistence. Any of my jobs I've gotten, anything I've actually somewhat got in my life, I've just been persistent.
I'm glad you say that. Right? Yeah, I'm glad you say that because, a lot of people say, they look at you and they look, like you got a great body, you're beautiful. They go, oh, it all works because she's beautiful and she's slim and she's like at the perfect body shape.
No, I don't have that job.
But you do put the work behind it. Like so thank you for sharing that part because it's one misconception that a lot of people have thinking that that it just lands on your lap because of your looks, and you actually do have to work hard.
You totally do. Yeah. And it doesn't land on you.
It doesn't land on your lap.
Oh my God, I just told me this. No, not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Cool, cool. Who's been your biggest positive influence?
That's a tough one. I think my husband's definitely a good influencer. He's been a real good rock. I mean, some things that he's seen me do, he's like, "What are you doing? Why?" And then my best friend Leslie, my best friend Chelsea. Like, I have a close knit of people in my life, and I feel like you don't need to overwhelm yourself and have hundreds of friends if you have quality versus quantity is a big one. So those have been my big influencers. My teammates, my really good teammates, Kyle and Holly, those are another big influencers in my life that I see them striving, and it makes me want to strive more. So I think surrounding yourself, I know that's totally cliche saying that, but surrounding yourself with positive people. Like you, like how many things have you accomplished? Francesca accomplished a lot.
We're talking about you.
No, but it's true, right? And you see that, and that's super cool because that's what drives me. Because I'm like, I want to do that, So I think that it's a good thing to showcase other people.
So these are your influences right now. So, but who was the most positive influence on you growing up when you were a kid?
Is it weird if I say myself? Does that sound
No,
bad?
it's not weird. It's not weird.
Growing up, I was just really I don't know why. I was just really determined little child and whatever I wanted to do. So I don't really had one person that I was like, yeah, that's it. It was just more like me inside, I guess. I don't know.
You always had that drive.
I always had that drive. Yeah. I remember being in gymnastics when I was a kid, and I couldn't do a back walkover, and I was so mad at myself that I couldn't do it. And I would go every day in my backyard, and I would practice and practice and practice. And then I finally got it, and then I won gymnast of the year at our school, which I would have been 10.
Do you think that's part of your DNA, or do you think it's just what do you think makes you like that?
I think it is the DNA, because of my uncle and my cousin, who are the other two people in my life that are in my family, are like that. My cousin Tanya has 4 kids. She's a big inspiration. Tanya, I love you. That's a big one for me. 4 kids, personal trainer. She's a multimillionaire now. She's just worked so hard to get where she is, and that's my drive right there too. Oh, I forgot about that one. That's a big one. Yeah,
that's a big one. Yeah, it is. Are you always this motivated? Do you ever have times when you just go, I don't feel like it today. I'm not in the mood. I don't have any drive whatsoever. Do you ever go through that?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I definitely do. And I try not to keep my zone in that. I totally believe in God, and I believe that, there's negative energies and stuff out there that will just try and keep you down. And it's I'm not that person. I'm going to get over that hump and tune it out and be like, no, I'm not going to feel sorry for myself or this or that, because it doesn't go anywhere. So
it's true. It doesn't help anybody.
No.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
So you were telling me earlier about a dog biting you. Can you share that story?
Yes.
So tell us about the dog that bit you.
This is coming out in one of a big magazine. I'm pretty excited about this. So how I started on my what I do, helping people with their skin, medical esthetician, is I got bit by a dog when I was 19. I came back from Australia. I felt so confident, everything else, fell on top of the world, and then out of the blue, I was at my boyfriend at the time's house. And he had 2 dogs, and they were rescue dogs. And I went to bend down to feed one, and it lunged and bit me in the face. And my whole face was like that.
Oh my goodness.
So I've had 2 plastic surgeries, fillers, fractional laser, everything else. And I was so upset for a good 2 years. I couldn't look in the mirror and stuff, and I felt really crappy about myself.
And I not know it.
No, but
you not know
I would.
There are no scars, no visible scars.
No,
anywhere.
there is, but you got to look closely. But the long and the short of it was, I feel again, God puts things in your life and is you know, you put trials and tests and like, why would this happen? But when I go through it now, I can actually inspire other women to be like, you know what? I was on the cover of Women's Health. I was on the cover of Training and Fitness. I was like, I've done stuff and I've went through hell and back for what I went through. To think that the way I looked and like no confidence to be on a cover of a magazine that people pay for, what? Like, I think that it had to happen full circle, and it did, and I can inspire other women. Also, when ladies come to me and they're like, oh my God, I have this mark here and this here, and I'm like, you can't see it. Like, you're the one that sees it, and they have that stupid 3-way magnifying mirror, and I always tell them, throw it out, because it's terrible. So yeah. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does make sense. Do you consider yourself an entrepreneur?
Yeah, definitely. I like to hustle.
You like to hustle. Yes.
I'll tell you a quick story, super quick. So my boss will kill me if I say this. I'm going to say it anyway, so tell if you're listening. So I have a Louis Vuitton bag, which are very expensive if anyone knows. Anyway, I would not buy this bag on my own because they're just like way too much money, and I'm like, oh my goodness. Anyway, she has, my boss had a Louis Vuitton, and I remember one night we were like out. It was a company dinner, like Christmas dinner. And I was like, oh man, I'd love to get one of those one day. And she's, oh well. She's like, you know, I'll make you a bet. She's a little bit tipsy. I'll make you a bet. If you
She's watching this.
I know she will watch this. If you sell, I think it was 22 grand worth of products, like 2 grand worth of stuff I had 4 days to do it, literally 4 days. I'll buy you a Louis Vuitton bag. I was like, are you sure? Yes. She's like, yep, totally, you know, I'll do it. I was like, all right. I called up every single client I had. I was so adamant that I was getting that Louis Vuitton. Again, the entrepreneur, like, I want it. And Friday came around, I sent her my numbers. I made $2,100.
Wow.
And I got my Louis Vuitton.
Over the 2,000. That's fantastic.
So I'm like, I feel, yeah, I definitely am an entrepreneur at heart, for sure.
And competitive.
Yeah, I just want it. Yeah. It's just fun.
Some people say you can't do it all, like in general, right? So you can't do everything, but you are doing everything. You're doing your motocrossing, you're doing your belly dance performances, you're doing your medical aesthetician work. You were, what else? What am I missing? You're doing your app, you're cooking,
yeah.
Like you're doing so much. How do you balance it all? How do you do it all? And your fitness, and you're working out, right? So
again, it's the planning. You have to plan. Like, you can't just willy-nilly it and be like, I'm going to do 20 million things in a day, because that's not going to happen. So it's very much like planning, like what I'm doing. And we have schedules for belly dance, so I know. I work part-time. I don't work full-time. So I hope people know that I'm not like, you know, 8-9 hours a day kind of thing at what I do. So I have a lot more flexibility on keeping things, you know, regimented, and be like, okay, I can do it. It's just I have to pick the days when I can do them.
So being organized,
big time,
and selective.
Yes.
About what you're gonna do.
Yes.
Okay. So I don't know if you already shared it or not, but what's been your biggest challenge in life?
That's a good question. What has been my biggest challenge? I think that there's challenges every day and all day.
But your biggest one?
Well, getting over, like, from when I was young, probably that whole challenge of having, like, super confidence to no confidence to back up, to knowing, too, that, like, I was big into stunts and acting when I moved to Vancouver. And I wanted it so bad, and nothing was totally clicking right. And knowing to, like, close that door for now, have it sort of open and open another door, if that makes sense. So that was a big challenge, because I really wanted that, and it wasn't something I was getting right away. But I feel like, again, one door opens another, or one closes another one opens. I feel like, okay, like, yeah, I wasn't made it as an actress, but now I'm doing stuff like this, and now I'm fitness modeling. So it's, you know,
you're probably inspiring more people this way.
I think so. I hope so.
Yeah, I know you're inspiring me. So
hope so.
So I was going to ask you, what are your thoughts on luck?
I think you make your own luck.
You make your own luck.
Yeah, there's no, like, well, I mean, sometimes there's luck for sure on certain things, but I think it is, you make your own, and it is right place, right time too. Some things just happen.
Yeah. So here's a question for you, because recently I saw a photo of you where you're, what's the word, scantily clad.
Barely covered.
Barely covered. And it is gorgeous, by the way. You absolutely have absolutely amazing shots. And I mean, you're beautiful.
Thank you.
What would you say to people? Because there's a lot of controversy on that kind of stuff. So, like in the belly dance world, I mean, our costumes are fairly revealing to a certain point.
Mm-hmm.
And then there, you know, I have Shamima where I'm very imperative about having everybody wearing a full t-shirt just because of what we're doing and the message we're bringing out there.
Yeah.
And then there's Heidi, who is out there absolutely gorgeous. So what would you say to people that, you know, may say to you or may think that you're objectifying women by doing that? Well, what are your thoughts on that? Like,
I think everyone has their comfort levels. Mm-hmm. I get asked a lot too with like, how is your husband okay with this? Yeah. It's, I don't know, call me what you want. But I think, and my grandma was a big advocate of this. She was always like, put her makeup on and show she looked good and wanted to look good for everybody. I think that it's your own comfort level of what you feel comfortable with. I'm not going to look like this when I'm 60. I'm not going to be, no, like, and hey, I'm not hurting anybody. And like, if I'm comfortable with it, which I am, I don't think that, you know, go for it. Like, you're never going to look like this for the rest of your life kind of thing. And I have an opportunity to be in like a Maxim or, you know, Fitness Girls, which is like a Maxim magazine. Like, I like it.
So is your, so, okay, I see that the goal is, you know, the achievement of being able to do that. But at the same time, I mean, you're gorgeous. I don't think they really Photoshop much of you, because if they even ever do that, because I don't think there's need to.
They were at one point photoshopping out my moles, but now they leave them on all my little beauty marks, which is good. I like that.
So for people who are watching or listening to this, I think just knowing you, because I've known you for a while, that in a way you're also wanting to inspire others, saying, yeah, you can look good if you work hard at it.
You totally can. And I think for sure. And it doesn't mean that you have to be a certain type, like, you know, like, I don't know. It's feeling good for you. And if you, whatever makes you happy, you know, whatever floats your boat, like the photo that I did that was like the bedroom one that got featured in Fitness Girls, like I liked it. I thought that it was like, it was pretty. And like, and my husband is so funny because he's so proud, and that's so cool to me. Like, he's like, can you print that off so that I can put it at my work? So I'm like, what? So like, I don't know. I think it's, if it makes you feel good and you're fine with it, then go for it.
You go for it. Okay. So do you have a favorite quote?
Yeah.
Mantra?
So my dad always says, go big or go home. So that's
go big or go home. And you always go big.
Go big. Right. Shoot for it. If you don't, you're going to land somewhere good.
So what's next for you? What's coming up next?
Lots of things. I've met like a couple connections. So I'm be doing some photo shoots in Vegas. Doing a big one for a magazine in like Europe. Cool. Be riding a motorcycle.
Are you going
no, it's like in Vegas. It's the one for a Europe magazine. Okay. And then hopefully my show is gonna kind of take off. Show. Yeah, it's like it's going to be called Heidi's Recreation. So it's like a recreation. Like, we go to a spot. I did a little one in March. We shot one. We went to like a lodge, a beautiful lodge, and like showcased it. And then I cooked something at the end. So that's kind of the premises of it. Food Network, pick it up. This is what we're wanting.
Food Network, are you listening and watching?
But I want to, that's my biggest goal, I think, is to live a healthy lifestyle, inspire others for that. It doesn't mean that you have to eat like perfect, like enjoy life, like have a glass of wine, that's fine. And enjoy, you know, having a clean meal and getting out there and doing fun things. That's kind of my big thing, is I want to inspire others to do the same.
Okay. So do you have one inspirational something to say, or
just go for it?
Just, I love it. I love it.
Yeah, just try your hardest and Just have fun.
So, because I'm sure you have these. I'm sure you've experienced this. The naysayers and the people that try to put you down. How do you handle those?
You can't, it's funny. Like, I try not to, again, you get your little small group of people that are behind you 100%. And you really can't listen to them because they want you to like, get down on this. She shouldn't do this. She shouldn't do that. You're always going to have people like that. Even if you're doing so good and you're perfect and you're crossing all your T's, you're always going to have the people that, and it's more reflection of them, I think. Like, they can't do that, or they don't want to do it, or they don't want to put in the work, or must be nice. If I ever hear that again, I hate that so much. Must be nice that you. I'm like, really? Because sometimes I don't go to bed and I'm, like, it just depends, right? Like, I really, you can't let that stop you.
So if people want to follow you, where can they find you?
Lots of places. If you Google up Heidi Cannon, MrsCannonsKitchen.com is my website. My YouTube channel is Mrs. Heidi Cannon. My Instagram is Mrs. Cannon's Kitchen. Snapchat, Heidi Sahara, which is my belly dance name. And Bubblegum Belly Dance, which is my girlfriend and I's
just website. What else?
Hardmagnum.com. And, it's Starfrit. I just got sponsored by them. That was
really?
Yeah, that's huge.
Wow. That's
huge shipment of stuff, which is pretty cool. Trav's like, oh my God, this is like Walmart showed up at our house. I got so much stuff. It was awesome.
Really?
Yeah. Super
nice.
cool.
I'll come visit you.
Yes.
I did see your YouTube. You were spiraling.
Yeah, that was one of them. Yeah, Spiralizer. Oh, so good.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming. This has been lovely.
And tune into this and subscribe to her channel and make
yours.
sure.
And yours.
Yeah, both. Make sure you're following this one because she's going to have lots more.
Well, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much and keep inspiring.
Thank you. Bye.